Welcome, everyone. The doors are closing. May Day is happening. Look at these fancy, fairyful, green, earthy people. Today's service is brought to you by the Web of Life, and you'll hear more about that. I have some gathering music for you from one of our local singer-songwriters, Nick Shoulders. I don't know him, but I've been learning his music all week, and yesterday I saw this man that looked familiar crossing by the farmer's market, so I yelled out, "Hey, Nick Shoulders!" And it was him. I said, "Hey, dude, I'm playing one of your songs tomorrow for UU." He said, "Right on." Yes, he sings that high. Porch light on distant ridges, dark, rock-lined valley, singing with every bark. Flat water bottoms, wind-blown timber tall. It's my land of snakes and waterfalls. 16 score and 7 years my blood's called home. All the crimson clay and the old roads that I roam. This place might be cursed after all. It's my land of snakes and waterfalls. And I know that when a distant shore's before me, oh, how my poor heart aches for every hollow that I forsake. I've been trying to run since I could crawl, but I'm bound to snakes and waterfalls. And I know that when a distant shore's before me, oh, how my poor heart aches for every hollow that I forsake. Blue cave water and cane brakes forever call me on home to snakes and waterfalls.
Lovely. Good morning. Unitarian Universalism is a liberal religious tradition that values freedom in religious thought and journey. We uphold the unity of our interconnection with each other and all of life, and also to the universe in which we exist. We affirm the universality of love and hope as we journey together in community, and so we welcome you. whoever you are at this moment and wherever you are on your spiritual journey. My name is Fawn Smith, and on behalf of the Unitarian Universalist Fellowship of Fayetteville, I welcome you on this very special, hope everybody's okay, very special Sunday morning service in commemoration of May Day. Today's service is put together by Web of Life. Tressa and Natalie, thank you. It's our Pagan and Nature Spirituality group. The group was named for the seventh principle of Unitarian Universalism, respect for the interdependent web of all existence of which we are a part. Web of Life and today's service affirm the sixth source of UU's living tradition, spiritual teachings of earth-centered traditions which celebrate the sacred circle of life and instruct us to live in harmony with the rhythms of nature. A special welcome to those visiting for the first time. I hope you were all given the information you needed to feel comfortable here today. If you did not fill out the clipboard information in the lobby and want to get our emails, there are white cards at the seat backs. I don't have one to show you. There's props over there. They say visitor welcome. And if you just fill one of those out and put it in the offertory basket, I can add you to the email list. So our AV tech, David, over there, can help you with hearing devices as needed. Children and the sounds they make are very welcome in our services. But if you need to step out with them and take a break, there are seats in the lobby. And we also have nursery care available downstairs, thanks to a couple volunteers. We'll be weaving a maypole. Actually, we're going to hear more about that from Natalie because our plans had to change a little bit based on the weather. So more on that later. We're about to enter into sacred time. We're about to make this time and this place sacred by our presence and intention. Please silence your phones or other devices. We are glad you have decided to spend your morning in celebration of the season with us.
High spring has come to the Ozarks. Earlier in the season, we saw the blooming of the dogwood, the most auspicious tree in our lore, of Snoffus, our guardian of the forest. There are many May Day customs that made their way here with the early settlers, and some of them may actually be unique to the Ozarks. May 1st was the first day of the year that children were allowed to go outside barefoot, and winter clothes were packed away with sassafras leaves. May morning dew was used as a wash for beauty and fertility and collected on a handkerchief for healing properties as well. Cucumbers and watermelons planted before sunrise on May 1st would not be bothered by insects. May 1st was also considered the best day of the year for a young woman to pick a husband. There were a large number of future mate divination methods, some of which included peering into wells and using mirrors to see one's future betrothed. However, it was considered unlucky to marry in May, a superstition that dates back to ancient Rome and the time of the year when people banished malevolent spirits during the festival Lemuria. May Day is most often celebrated on May 1st or on the eve of May, but the actual spring ecrotherm, or cross-quarter midpoint between equinox and solstice, this year was May 4th. Considering that it was once a multi-day event, we are right on time. And it's the season of honoring the fair folk, or little people, as the Ozark old-timers called them. For the green world is coming into full power, and these guardians have much to teach us and love and healing to share.
Let us envision now a circle of energy encompassing us in this time together. Here we create this sacred space. Here in love adore this place. Together work, together play, and love the only rule we say. The circle's wide enough for more, Inside, the sun illumes the door. Whiter still, and then we see another circle merged with me. Shed the flesh that veils the light, strip away the mirror's blight, open wide the shine within, look around, we all are kin.
At this time of flowering, at this time of fruitfulness, we celebrate the coming of high spring.
We honor the fertile earth. We honor the warm breezes.
We honor the waxing light. We honor the morning dew.
We welcome May and open the way to life, to us, to all.
Welcome, May, the joy of the day, within and round us all.
Please join us, if you will, in welcoming the four directions and elements. If you like, face each direction in turn or simply envision it.
Welcome, guardians of the East, realm of air, your gifts of sight and wisdom fair. Flower-scented breeze on this blessed day, for summer is a-comin' in, and winter's gone away.
Welcome, guardians of the South, where fire burns bright, your gifts of passion and ardent light, lengthening warm days on this blessed day. For summer is coming in, and winter's gone away.
Welcome, guardians of the West, deep water clear, your gifts of health and love draw near, flowing with life on this blessed day. For summer is a-comin' in, and winter's gone away.
Welcome, guardians of the North, and strength of earth, your gifts of life in joyous rebirth, springing up green on this blessed day.
For summer is a-comin' in, and winter's gone away. Welcome, spirits of life, source of all.
Powers of the ancients, to you we call.
Moving in us on this blessed day, for summer is a-comin' in, and winter's gone away.
Please join me as we light the chalice. Our light is the light of the sun, keeper of all we love.
Our light is the light of all living things, life precious like our own. Our light is the light of the cosmos, keeper of all we know.
Our story today is from the Pennsylvania Dutch, an Appalachian culture whose influence in magical folkways reach all the way here to the Ozarks. Willoughby's Gift from Folktales of the Pennsylvania Dutch by William Woys Weaver.
In the old days, when fog clung to the blue hills of Pennsylvania, parents told their children that the fog was smoke rising up from the oven of rabbits baking pretzels in the woods. These fairy rabbits made their magical pretzel flour from the seeds of quaking grass or as it was called in Dutch, zedergras. Their tiny pretzels possessed all sorts of remarkable powers because they were the worker bees for the Schlangenfrau, who was keeper of the spirits in the wheat. The onion snow mentioned in the story is a late spring snow considered beneficial to onions and potatoes already in the ground.
The Bashors had been living in the same log farmhouse on Gertie Run for over 200 years. Nestled against Sperry Mountain, the house enjoyed an unobstructed view of the valley below and the surrounding hills. Granny Bashor was well known in the area for her special abilities with herbs and cures. It was said by old wives in the neighborhood that she was able to converse with Glean Leet.
Shortly after St. Gertrude's Day, a white wind blew down from the northeast and brought a flurry of onion snow that dusted the landscape with flakes the size of eiderdown. Then the sun came out and the snow evaporated into the fog under an arching rainbow. Glancing out the window, Granny Bashor remarked to her grandson, standing beside her, that the rabbits must be busy today baking their pretzels because the woods were thick with mist.
Tugging at her apron, Willoughby pointed to the hill across the valley. "Can we go see them? Will they give us pretzels?" "I've never heard that they intended to share their pretzels," smiled his grandmother. "Unless there is a good reason, we ought to leave the wee folk to themselves, especially when they are baking. But what if we take them something? Honey jumbles, perhaps? They like sweets, don't they?"
Granny Bashor's face brightened, and turning to her daughter-in-law, who was sewing by the fire, "Willoughby and I are going for a walk. We're going to take some of that St. Gertrude's Day cake across the valley. You know the place, that meadow where everyone goes to pick huckleberries. Take care, Mimi. It gives strange weather today, and you don't want to be out too late. We must make soap tomorrow."
Sticking a sprig of moonwort into her hatband, Granny Bashor slipped into her coat. "Willoughby has given me an idea." With that, she took the boy by the hand and walked out into the rolling patches of fog.
As they picked their way along the lane leading across the valley, 3 white deer emerged from the woods and stood silently in the middle, as though to block their way. Granny Bashor stopped. "We are family," she called out in Dutch. "I swear by the moonwort in my hat."
The deer parted, and a straw man appeared from behind. "Regina Bashor of Gertie Run, why have you come here?" "To scatter Dutch in the meadow, where you are baking pretzels. It is time you receive our thanks. And the boy? He is my grandson. He will soon be old enough to eat more than pretzels." The straw man beckoned with his arm. "Then follow me."
When they came to the huckleberry meadow, it was alive with activity. Hundreds of rabbits were hard at work baking pretzels in small beehive ovens set up on wheels. Some were grinding seeds into flour, others mixed the dough, while still others were busy kneading and then twisting the dough into pretzels. A team of rabbits in the center of the meadow boiled the pretzels and then spread them on tins for baking. The tiny pretzels were not much larger than the end of Willoughby's pinky finger. Yet the fragrance filling the air over the field was redolent of wildflowers and toasted nuts.
Suddenly, a bright light appeared overhead and slowly descended into the meadow. It was Schlangenfrau in all her morning radiance. Turning to Granny Bashor, she asked, "What have you brought for us, dear woman?" I notice your grandson is holding your hand very tightly. He has nothing to fear. I brought you some of our Dutch, which I had thought to scatter in the meadow, but now I see there is hardly enough to satisfy all of your kin.
Even though there's only one cake given with a good heart, there will always be enough, replied the Schlangenfrau. She took the Dutch and broke it in half, whereupon it became 2. She broke 2 and made 4, and continued until she had made 100 cakes. We shall feed the entire meadow, and then some, she laughed.
And dear boy, would you like to take home some of our pretzels? You may, but only after you answer a riddle correctly and creatively. We do give latitude on that point. Here is your riddle. When do dawn and dusk sing the same melody? She paused. Got you there, didn't I? Willoughby thought for a moment, and then with wide open eyes exclaimed, when light and dark become a lark. Any meadow bird can tell you that.
The Schlangenfrau snapped her fingers. Well, Frau Bashore, this boy of yours has proven his mettle. I think I shall take him to our next riddle fest. She handed Willoughby a small linen bag tied up with ribbon. You must tell no one about this, and you must mind the contents carefully. Many years ago, I gave a similar bag of pretzels to your Grossmamie, and this is how she learned to become a healer.
Eat only one pretzel on your birthday, and from year to year, you will learn to speak with us. And when you are ready, we will teach you things that no other mortals know. She laid her warming hand upon his head. Now go in peace, and when you see your mother, lay your hand upon her foot. You will know then that I speak the truth. With that, the fairy queen and all her animals disappeared, leaving Granny Bashore and Willoughby alone in the meadow, except for the bag of magic pretzels he was holding in his hand.
When they returned home, Willoughby went directly to his mother and said that he wanted to touch her clubbed foot. The beautiful lady told me to touch you. Puzzled, she glanced at Granny Bashore. Beautiful lady? Granny Bashore reassured her, it's all right. We met a stranger along the road, a healer, I believe. She offered us some good advice. When Willoughby touched his mother's foot, it gradually restored itself, and within a day became as normal as the other.
On his very next birthday, Willoughby ate his first magic pretzel. And from then on, when the rabbits made pretzels in the huckleberry meadow, he joined to help them bake.
So who is Schlagefrau in our story today? Her name means snake lady, and is in the folk tales, she is described as a fairy queen who practices healing with herbs and plants and carries a snake in her apron pocket, which she uses like a wand to cast spells. The folklore also credits her with giving Braukers their healing powers, who were called power doctors in the Ozarks. In her stories, she can turn herself into a rabbit and also rise into the sky to become the morning star. Her fairy children were said to be born out of blue or green eggshells. Many of these traits may indicate her origins as the Celtic goddess Serona, who was depicted with a snake coiled around her hand and holding a plate of eggs, both symbols of healing, regeneration, and rebirth. Serona also wore a star diadem, and her name means star. A star is a light in the darkness. The pole star gives you a direction, something to navigate by. Venus, known as the evening and morning star, on the other hand, is a promise of light's return. The star is a symbol of hope, a promise that even when the sun is gone, light is not extinguished. These days, we know that all stars are suns. So the star stands for the promise of light and healing, even when the sun can't be seen. Sarona's temples were constructed around thermal springs or wells in Germanic areas of Europe. Devotees sought solace and healing by immersing themselves in the sacred waters associated with her. It was believed that these therapeutic waters, blessed by the goddess herself, had the power to purify both the body and the soul, offering relief from physical and spiritual afflictions. In much the same way, waters collected on May Day are believed to have healing and magical properties in Ozark culture. So get your waters, it's raining outside. And so we honor the serpent goddess on this day for healing, for love, for joy, and connection in this and every season. Please join me in standing as you are able for a call and response. To Sarona, soft of voice, gentle of hand, whose bright eyes we see in the star-scattered sky, we call to you. Hail, star goddess, goddess of the broad blue river, goddess of the sulfur spring, we call to you. Hail, serpent goddess. Sarona, your name was spoken in prayer so long ago by the ailing and the injured. With thanks to you, they poured out the sweet wine of the valley, as do we, as we speak your name again this day with reverence and awe. Hail, Sarona. Sarona, easer of ills, healer of wounds, mender of bones, soother of souls. You restore us to wholeness. You bring us back to ourselves. Sarona of the serpent, we honor your good works. Hail and blessed be. You may remain standing for our song.
This is from our gray hymnal, number 357. And the words are on the screen. They make more sense up here. Bright morning stars are rising. Bright morning stars are rising. Bright morning stars are rising. Soul. Oh, where are our dear mothers? Oh, where are our dear mothers? Oh, where are our dear mothers? Days of breaking in my soul. They are sowing seeds of gladness. They are sowing seeds of gladness. They are sowing seeds of gladness. Days of breaking in my soul. Oh, where are our dear fathers? Oh, where are our dear fathers? Oh, where are our dear fathers? Days of breaking in my soul. They are Thank you for singing.
Our Lady of Snakes and Stars does not stand alone in the lore. She is joined by her consort, the bush mops, or walled mops, the forest dwarf, or lord of the forest. He is said to wear a coat woven of willow leaves, spleenwort, and moss. He wears a magical hat fashioned from ivy, wintergreen, yew twigs, or mistletoe. He is also associated with snakes. A large horntail snake is his protector. And like our legend of the hoop snake, it curls around like an Ouroboros and charges forward in a rolling motion to defend his forest lord. Walled mops can turn himself into a wren or a white deer. This is a especially significant link to our lore of the Snoffis, the white deer with dogwood branches for antlers, who guards the Ozarks forests, and whose exhalations are the blue fog of the hills. These beings seem to be continuations of the ancient Celtic god Cernunnos. I struggle with that word. Cernunnos is a god of nature, fertility, and bounty, the guardian of the earth and its creatures. He governs the perpetual cycles of life and guards the gates of birth and death. He oversees the interconnectedness of all things and the power of the natural world. And so we honor the Lord of the forest this day for the joy and blessings of all nature and the connection he brings in this and every season. Please join me in standing as you are able for a call and response. To Cernunnos. Cernunnos, Lord of the forest, antler god of spring, as the dogwood blossoms fully and the ferns unfurl their leafy trindles, we call to you. Hail, God of nature! Earth herself comes into full ripeness, and you are ever there, joyous and triumphant, guarding the gates of every season. Hail, guardian of the green world! Cernunnos, your spirit was invoked so long ago by seekers and travelers. With thanks to you, they gave offerings and praise, as do we, as we call to you again this day with reverence and awe. Hail, Cernunnos! Treasury of healing nature, we call out in connection with you. May we heal the land, ourselves, and each other with your vibrant, greening energy. Hail and blessed be.
The Ozark Mountain region has inherited much of its cultural identity and folk practices from older European tradition, especially from the British Isles and Germany. One tradition that has endured over the years, especially in the more rural areas of the Ozarks, is believing in what Ozark folk call the little people, or fairies. There's hardly a single origin story for the little people, even amongst tight-knit rural families. In one story, The little people are said to have been mistakenly brought over from Ireland to the New World in a farmer's pocket. Others have claimed they are actually fallen angels, cursed to wander the mortal realm. The most common belief, however, sees the little people as animistic spirits of nature and guardians of the wilderness. The little people are often depicted as just that, little. In most stories, they are described as being anything from only a few inches tall to around 2 feet at the tallest. Legends abound about the little people and their shape-shifting magic. It is believed that while their natural forms might be quite small, they can change at will into any human or animal form they choose. This often makes identifying one of the little people a difficult task. There are ways of sniffing out one of the little people in disguise, however. It's said that they will always be something off about the human form from one of the little people might take. In most accounts, the little people are said to look exactly like humans, except, of course, smaller. In general, they are said to wear clothes from the past, reminiscent, no doubt, of what the first families to settle in the Ozarks wore. The purpose of the little people is often debated, even to this day. Some believe them to be demons or fallen angels, but this claim is held by few in the Ozarks. Most see them as guardian spirits of the land itself. This belief follows as the little people are so often associated with certain natural features and landmarks. The presence of the little people in these specific spots often allows for survival of certain springs, old-growth trees, and even entire patches of forest. The little people then act as a sort of balancing force between humankind and nature. When we get too invasive, short-sighted, or greedy, the little people are there to remind us of the importance of honoring the land and protecting it. For some Ozarkers, encounters with the little people have resulted in gaining certain healings or magical abilities, reminiscent of our Pennsylvania Dutch story, Willoughby's Craft. While this belief is far from common, several modern Ozarkian healers and magical practitioners credit the little people for their power. Little people or fairies have been said to enjoy music, wind chimes, and bells. Shiny things can also catch their attention. To honor the little people, we will pass out fairy bells that can be used to attract good fairies. You can carry these with you when walking through the woods or hang them near a window or outdoors to catch the breeze. Consider setting out a small offering of food and flowers to the little people to get on their good side and garner their protection. Always be respectful to nature and the creatures living there. And now, join me in a call and response. Fairy bells, so bright and clear, bring the laughing fairies near. As they dance upon the air, let them spread their magic fair. When the bell begins to ring, may the fairies come and sing. Fairy magic old and wise, bless this place before my eyes.
All right, are we having fun yet, everybody? Okay, there is something inherently magical about ferns. Ferns took root long before animals walked the earth and over 100 million years before dinosaurs made the scene. Today, ferns remain unchanged from their primeval beginnings and can be considered living fossils. This could be why ferns seem right at home in the fairy realm. Many 19th century paintings of fairy kingdoms are embellished with ferns and fronds, lending an otherworldly and fantastic sensibility to these enchanted landscapes. Ferns are cryptogams like mosses, lichens, and algae, bearing no flower or fruit. Flowering plants didn't appear until 200 million years after ferns. Since ferns have no flowers, they yield no seeds. This confounded scientists for centuries and led to a lot of confusion and conjecture as to how ferns propagated. It seemed they sprung up by magic. Legends were created to explain this great mystery. It was assumed that since no one could ever find the elusive fern seed, it must be invisible. This notion led to the folklore that anyone carrying a fern seed would likewise be rendered invisible. This was common knowledge in the 16th and 17th centuries. So much so that plays written by William Shakespeare and Ben Jonson have characters bandying about this wisdom. The folklore of ferns has as much to do with seeing as not seeing. Ferns supposedly have the power to restore sight. In a Scottish text published in 1703, there is a remedy for temporary blindness and bloodshot eyes that involves applying the blades of a fern frond mixed with egg whites to the face and brows. Austrian and Slavic folklore tells that anyone who finds a fern flower becomes omniscient, can see buried treasures, and can understand the language of animals and birds.
In remote areas of Finland, the will-o'-the-wisps glow phosphorescently, identifying the locations where fairy gold is buried. Anyone carrying a fern seed will be led to these hidden treasures under the cloak of invisibility and become infinitely wealthy. How many times do you think these came true? In the Czech Republic's Bohemia, holding fern seeds guaranteed that you would always have money. Scarcely visible to the naked eye, fern spores scatter on the wind like fairy dust. They can sail on a current of air for hundreds or even thousands of miles over oceans to be deposited on distant shores. In 1848, a Polish count with an interest in botany finally discovered the missing link that completed the life cycle of the fern, which is as magical as any of their myths or fairy tales. When a fern spore finds the right balance of temperature, light, and moisture, it begins to germinate, but does not grow into anything that looks like a fern. This is because fern spores develop into an entirely different structure, a small, green, heart-shaped leaf that bears no resemblance to its feathery-looking parent. It's as if the fern child were a changeling. This new plant, called a prothallum, contains both male and female parts. After fertilization, a baby fern starts and in time sends out fiddleheads that rise up from the soil and unfold into the recognizable lacy fronds of a fern, similar not to the parent, but to its grandparent. Imagine your parents were different creatures from yourself. Not too hard to imagine. And that you only resembled your grandparents in appearance. Your grandparents in appearance. Now you begin to understand what it might feel like to be a fern.
O mysterious spirit of the fern, accept our offerings of life-giving water. We pour this water for blessings to see that which is hidden. We offer this water for blessings of fortune and wealth. We offer this water for blessings to experience change and transformation.
Dance to the beat of the rain, little fern, and spread out your palms again. Receive the gift of the dew and the rain. Upturn all your fronds, little fern, and rejoice in the beat of the rain.
Awesome. We're going to sing this together, and then when it gets time to do the Maypole, we're going to sing the chorus again as we do our weaving. Since we were first created, these works have been related, and we have celebrated the coming of the spring. Hallintoe, a jolly rumbelow, we were up long before the day. Oh, to welcome in the summer, to welcome in the May. Oh, for summer is a-coming, and winter's gone away. Oh, do-do-do-do-do. Take no scorn to wear the horn. It was the crest when you were born. Your ancient kin have worn it, and now you can wear it too. Hallintoe, jolly rumbelow, we were up long before the day. Oh, to welcome in the summer, to welcome in the May. Oh, for summer is a-coming, and winter's gone away. Oh, do-do-do-do-do-do. Now Robin Hood and Little John both went to the fair, oh, while we went to the merry green wood to see what they do there. Oh, Hallintoe, jolly rumbelow, we were up long before the day, oh, to welcome in the summer, to welcome in the May. Oh, for summer is a-coming, and winter's gone away. Oh, do-do-do-do-do-do. The Lord and Lady bless you with all their power and might. Oh, and bring us peace this eve. Bring peace both day and night. Oh, Hallintoe, a jolly rumbelow, we were up long before the day. Oh, to welcome in the summer, to welcome in the May. Oh, for summer is a-coming, and winter's gone away. Oh.
Spirit of life, may we know fully and deeply the blessings of each of the heart's seasons, the inward turning of winter, springtime's lush renewal, the effortless, steady growth of summer, and autumn's rich harvest. May our passage from season to season be blessed, eased by hands to hold, and by the light of love to guide us on.
Join me as we extinguish the chalice. We extinguish this flame, but not the radiant light of life that burns within us, that we take forth into the seasons, into the world, into our lives, shining on as the wheel turns.
Please join us, if you will, in our farewell to the four directions and elements. Yes.
Guardians of the North and strength of Earth, we thank you for gifts of life in joyous mirth.
Farewell and blessed be. Guardians of the West, deep water clear, we thank you for gifts of health and love so dear. Farewell and blessed be.
Guardians of the South, where the fire burns bright, we thank you for gifts of passion and ardent light.
Farewell and blessed be. Guardians of the East, realm of air, we thank you for gifts of sight and wisdom fair. Farewell and blessed be.
We thank the blessed spirits of land and sky and sun.
Joyful summer spirits and blessed shining ones.
And we thank the powers of the ancients.
The spirits of life of all existence. We thank the powers of the stars above and the earth below. For this time we have shared our place in the flow. Farewell and blessed be.
May our circle of love and friendship not be broken, but open up as a spiral, winding and weaving as we go forth into the deep and blessed world. And in our going, may we be blessed with all good things on this day and forevermore. Merry do we met, merry do we part, and until we merry meet again, blessed be.
This fellowship is a community in which all are welcome. The energy and resources feed the fire of our spiritual growth. Its wealth and hearth are what we share. As we contribute to the life of the community, we affirm the spark of life it brings to us. Let there be an offering to sustain and strengthen this, our fellowship. We are a fellowship of action and activities. This coming week's events are listed this time, almost microscopically, because it's all the room I had, on the back of the order of service, if you want to check those out. I think they're pretty self-explanatory, so I won't go into that. But thank you for celebrating the turning of the season with us today. Our next turning of the wheel will be a Sunday morning service on June 30th to celebrate Midsummer, and we hope to see you there.
All right, so since it's raining, we're going to raise the maypole in the sanctuary today. And we do have a few helpers, the weavers, who are going to help with this because it requires a little bit of coordination. We have two groups who are going to be going in opposite directions, weaving the maypole. And once we get the pole stood up, we'll bring some people from the crowd to take ribbons and participate. We would like adult volunteers to hold the ribbons. If you have a child, you can hold their hand with you, but it helps if we're all the same relative height and going at the same speed to get this weave going. So what we're going to do now, because this was a community event, this is the maypole dance and weaving is an Ozark tradition that probably continued up through the 1930s and 40s, maybe a little bit later in some communities. But because we're a community of people who are here together, we're going to raise the maypole together. And what we will do is push our chairs back. So everyone will stand up, push the chairs back. And we have a few helpers who will bring the maypole in, and we'll get started. We're ready for some weavers. We have some of our Web of Life weavers can come up. We have 14 ribbons. So anybody, any other volunteers, start grabbing a ribbon. Do we have all our weavers? Excellent. All right. So what we're going to do is we're going to divide into two groups. I told you this is a little complicated. I'm going to name off if you're going to be a rabbit or a snake. Okay? Rabbits and snakes. So let's start here. Rabbit, snake, rabbit, snake, rabbit, snake, rabbit, snake, rabbit, snake, rabbit, snake, rabbit. Okay. Now, our snakes are going to turn to the left, face to the left, and our rabbits are going to face to the right. Okay? Hold on. Oh. You're going to, okay, if you're facing the Maypole, I told you it's a little complicated, guys. The snakes are supposed to turn to the left and the rabbits turn to the right. Did we get that figured out? Snakes and rabbits are supposed to face each other. Do we not have 14 ribbons, y'all? Do we have? Uh-oh. We're missing a ribbon. Okay. Let's see. We might have it. Hold on. There's an empty hook, y'all. We're going to get this figured out, okay? It's okay. We're going to get the other ribbon. All right. This is a team building activity, everybody. Okay. Okay. So, how do we have to take it down? Okay. Okay, let go of your ribbons, everybody. Okay, and whoa. Okay. I was like, I put these instructions together and I made a diagram. Woo! All right. All right, grab your ribbons. Okay, so we just had one missing person before. Okay, we're going to redo the snakes and rabbits, all right? So we can get this. Okay, I'm going to start with Mary. Were you a rabbit? Snake, rabbit, snake, rabbit, snake, rabbit, snake, rabbit, snake, rabbit, snake, rabbit, snake. Okay, and now, rabbits, turn to your left. Sorry. Rabbits, turn to your right. Snakes, turn to your left. Okay, and so the way it works is the two groups are going to be moving in different directions. On the first move, snakes will go over, stepping to the left, while rabbits go under to the left. And then on the next move, the rabbits go over, the snakes go under. And we keep alternating under and over until the weaving is done. Yes. Okay. So Melly says, when you're going over, lift your ribbon and then put it down when you're going under. So let's try the first move, okay? We're going to start. Let's do snakes go over. One move. Snakes go over. Now, rabbits go over. All right, we got this figured out, y'all? Okay, Jory, let's start our drum beat. We're going to go slow and steady, y'all. Don't rush it. Over. Under. Caught up.
Tressa will put the words up. Same drum beat. 1, 2, here we go. Hallintoe, jolly rumbelow. We were up long before the day. Oh, to welcome in the summer, to welcome in the May. Oh, the summer is a coming and winter's gone away. 1, 2, 3, 4, and ready. Oh, howling to jolly rumble. We were up long before the day. Oh, to welcome in the summer, to welcome in the May. Oh, to summer is a coming and winter's gone away.